Hi and welcome back. What we've got now is participle phrase. I hope you are enjoying the topics, right? So let's get started. We say this can be defined as the phrase that is headed by a verb in either the present participle or past participle form, that is present participle ing, or the past you have words that is d you add in their past form, and you have words that is ed you add, and you have words that is en, and so on. The participle phrase functions as an adjective, so this means description, describing a noun or a pronoun. Now let's have examples so that you understand it better. Now we are starting with the present participle. For example, wearing his necktie, the boy started smiling. Now the wearing his necktie describes whom? Describes the boy. So the boy started smiling wearing his necktie. So wearing his necktie, who started smiling? The boy. So you see, wearing his necktie is the phrase that describes the boy for us. Good. Look at the children. It's like you ask a question. Which children? Then you say the ones playing in the kitchen. So playing in the kitchen describes the children for us. That is the children you are talking about. You give a description of them. Look at the children playing in the kitchen. Call the girl, like which one? The one dancing outside. So dancing outside is our participle phrase. It describes the girl for us. Call the girl dancing outside. Eating the food, the children started sleeping. Now, eating the food talks about whom? Talks about the children. So you only mean the children started sleeping. Eating the food talks about the children, gives us the description. Or you ask, who are you talking about eating the food? Then you say the children. Stopping the car, who was stopping the car, or who is stopping the car? Or stopping the car is about whom? Or like whom does it? Stopping the car describes whom. Then you say the police officer, or gives us the description of the police officer. Or you still say stopping the car talks about the police officer. So stopping the car, the police officer became angry. Good. I hope you are not confused. Then removing his glasses, who? The man. Removing his glasses, the man became happy. So removing his glasses is our participle phrase. Walking with confidence, like who? Jane. She was the one walking with confidence. So it gives us description, right? Walking with confidence, Jane took the book. Jane took the book walking with confidence. Running happily, who? Like for example, you ask John. John now. Running happily, John felt honored. John felt honored running happily. Mary took the handkerchief, cleaning her hands. Here you should be careful. Cleaning her hands talks about Mary, not the handkerchief. That is why you have a comma there. So the cleaning the hands is about Mary, not about the handkerchief. Then here, stop the boy is like you ask which one? The one playing with the ball. Stop the boy playing with the ball. Playing with the ball is our participle phrase, but you see here is in the present participle. Now we take the past. For example, I like food. It's like you ask which type of food, then you answer by saying cooked in a metal pot. You mean the type that is cooked in a metal pot. So you see, cooked is the past participle of cook. So cooked in a metal pot talks about the food. So that is our participle phrase, and you see it describes the food for us, or the type of the food. Shocked by the report, it's like you ask who? David now. Shocked by the report, David left the room. So shocked, you see, is the past participle of shock. So that is our participle phrase. Here is in the past participle. Bring me the book. It's like you ask which one? The one kept in the room. So bring me the book kept in the room. Kept in the room talks about the book, or it gives us the description of the book you are talking about. So I mean the book that was or has been kept in the room. That is the one you are talking about. So that is our participle phrase. We want to buy a house. Like which type? The type built on an island. You see, this is an example, it's not reality. So we want to buy a house built on an island. Built on an island is our participle phrase. It talks about what? It talks about the house. Filled with many people. Like what got filled with many people? The house now. Filled with many people, the house became noisy. So you see, it was the house that got filled with many people, or filled with many people talks about the house. Good. So you see, filled is the past participle of fill, F-I-L-L. Now, interrogated by the police. Who? The thief now, or whom? The thief. Interrogated by the police, the thief pleaded guilty. So you see, who got interrogated by the police? The thief. So you are talking about the thief. So that is our participle phrase. Take the biro. It's like you ask which one? The one bought the day before yesterday. So bought the day before yesterday is our participle phrase. You see, the bought is the past participle of the word buy. Then I would like to see the student. It's like you ask which one? The one given a prize, that was given a prize by his teacher. So given a prize by his teacher talks about the student. That is our participle phrase. And you remember it functions as an adjective. That is, it describes a noun or a pronoun. Read the topics. It's like you ask which ones, then you have taught last month. The ones taught last month. So taught last month talks about the topics. And the last but not the least, amazed by the students. Like who got amazed, or who was amazed by the student? Then you get the answer, the teacher now. So amazed by the students, the teacher clapped for the class. That is the students in the class. Now amazed by the students is our participle phrase. Amazed is the past participle of the word amazed. The last thing we are going to talk about is, so that you do not get confused, you do not have confusion in participle phrase, that is the present participle, and gerund phrase. Now let's have some explanation of them, or a difference between them. Now you see the present participle and the gerund. That is, we are talking about phrase. Present participle phrase. You know, the participle phrase is either the present or the past, and then the gerund phrase. Now the gerund, you know, the word starts with ends in ing. Present participle too ends in ing. But for a gerund phrase, the function is what? You have it as a subject, that is, it functions as a subject. it functions as an object, it functions as a complement, and it functions as an object of a preposition, that is for the gerund. But for the present participle, what happens is it functions as an adjective. It does the work of describing a noun or a pronoun. Now you might ask, what do you mean by this? Don't worry, let's have examples. It's like we always have examples, so that everything becomes, with examples, things become easier, not even easy. So let's have them. So now, by having the examples, we have the children started eating the food. So you see here, eating the food is a gerund phrase. Here is not the subject, but what? The object. It's like you ask the question, the children started what? Then you have the answer, eating the food. You remember the gerund, subject, object, complement, object of a complement. But here, eating the food, the children started sleeping. Eating the food talks about the children. So here is what the participle phrase. It's not a gerund phrase. But you see here again, the police officer tried stopping the car. It's like you ask the question, the police officer tried what? He tried stopping the car. Stopping the car is a gerund phrase, and here what is it to? It is the object. Or it is an object, it's not a subject. But here, stopping the car, the police officer got angry. Stopping the car talks about whom? Talks about the police. So here is what? Participle. You remember the function as an adjective, describing a noun or a pronoun. Now, wearing a necktie is easy. It's just like you say, this thing or taking this is easy. So you should be able to remember that this is what? A gerund phrase. Here is what? The subject. But you see there, the first example and the third as an what? Object. Then wearing his necktie, the boy started smiling. Wearing his necktie talks about whom now? The boy. So you see the boy started smiling, wearing his necktie. So you should be able to know that this is what? A participle phrase here. That drinking cold water is not advisable. Here you should be able to know that it is gerund. Look at the color. And it is the subject, not the object. Good. Now let's have, I think, the last three examples. But you see here, drinking cold water, Ali started coughing. Drinking cold water talks about whom? Talks about Ali. So you see here is not a gerund phrase. It is a participle phrase, because drinking cold water talks about Ali. Ali started coughing drinking cold water. The drinking cold water is about Ali. Smiling at children is nice. So you see here is a gerund phrase, and the function is that it is the subject here. It's not the object, or it's not an object. But here in our last example, the president entered his car smiling at the children. Smiling at the children talks about the president, not the car. So don't get confused. It's not like saying smiling at the children, the president entered his car. So that's the difference that we have for the present and the participle phrase and the gerund phrase. I hope that you have understood this, and I hope everything was easy. So until next time.